So yeah, so a couple shout outs. I know Sam, he had closed a deal. It was a 30 kilowatt system. Jesse, that's your guy, right, Sam? Jesse? I
No.
believe that. No? Oh, okay. Someone on host team. But yeah, so a 30 kilowatt system. I believe there's some batteries involved with that as well. I believe there's a Sunnova system as well. So congratulations to Sam on that. Congratulations to Maha, who had closed a 11.6 kilowatt system out of Nevada. So congrats to Maha on that. That also included, or no, that there was no battery attached with that. And then congrats to Bo and Dana, who both onboarded an enterprise this past week. I believe both of them are enterprise pros as well. So congrats to Bo and Dana. One of them, Bo's, is a lead company. I think you've seen him on our WhatsApp. His name's Ali. He's based out of Florida, and I think he already has some leads going out. I think he had a couple appointments scheduled out in Texas and a couple in Southern California this week. So you'll see him start to push stuff out there for the mentors on the team or the tier threes on the team. And then Dana's is a solar company, not a solar company, but I mean, like one of those setups to where like, dude owns his LLC and he has a bunch of door knockers. He gets paid and then he disperses commissions to the team. So Dana onboarded an entire team like that. I want to say it's like 7 or 8 door knockers, and then obviously the one guy that's kind of facilitates everything. So they onboarded that. I did kind of give everyone kind of my talking points. It was a few weeks ago about enterprise. I forgot who was all on the call, and just kind of because I not to brag, but I was kind of involved in some of the onboarding process for some of these guys, and I had a few talking points of how I recruit them, or kind of my approach to conversing with them. And yeah, so congrats to Bo and Dana on that. Also, I had a funny conversation on the way home with Brad. So I guess he just kind of figured out how ambassadors work. He thought it was a lot more complicated than it was, but he's been doing some door-to-door recently, and he ran into a couple prospects that solar just wouldn't work for them, and so he brought up the ambassador program and then kind of pushed that. They saw the value, obviously, in getting $1,000, and so he got about 5 referrals from ambassadors just in the past 2 days. From door knocking, from one customer already had solar, and then another customer was they were a renter, I believe. So he was all excited about that. So yeah, guys, utilize the ambassador program. Anyone can qualify. It's free. Literally anyone and everyone can become an ambassador. So yeah, definitely utilize that. And then yeah, so does anyone else have any other wins that they want to go over? Terry, you got anything cooking?
Hey, Anthony, I just signed up a seller in Puerto Rico, and him and Moses are getting ready to close 3 deals out there, and he's got 3 more he's sending my way from North Carolina.
Beautiful. I'm glad you brought that up. Puerto Rico is live. I've been recruiting with Bo, some reps out of Puerto Rico as well. And a lot of the responses, there's 1, maybe 2 major companies that people know about. And those companies are making a lot of money. Like everyone's going solar with them, and everyone wants it. One person I talked to, she's a teacher, and she works out there, and she's saying that I think every day the grid turns off. Every day, like once everyone gets home from work and school, the grid just turns off. So people see huge value in getting a system with a battery or 2, just so there's not that, in the middle of the heat, and it's humid. From my understanding, it's humid out there too. So,
is there any way we can request that to happen in my area?
In your area? Yeah.
Hey,
Get
Anthony,
Moises out there or what?
Anthony, this is a guy, he works actually for one of those major solar companies as well.
I forgot the name of that company, but I know which company you're talking about. They use Tesla Powerwalls. I know that much.
Yep. So he's actually a prospect I've been working on for the last probably 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
And he's been waiting for them to get financing. So we finally got financing. He's been talking to Moses as well. And actually Moses is out there this week, and he's going to close these deals with him this week and get him all set up and stuff. So, and then he's got 3 in North Carolina, 1 in Orlando that he's already got electric bills for, that he's sending over and stuff. So
beautiful.
Yeah, good pickup.
Yeah, start recruiting out there, guys. It's going to be a hot market. And it's open to all of us, right? It's not just Moises or Rich or myself or Bo. Anyone and everyone can kind of qualify, to building out there. And honestly, most people I've been talking to out there too, they're English speakers. So it's not, just for Spanish speakers. So I don't know if Rich is, I'm sure whoever you recruited was probably bilingual as well. So yeah. So definitely push for out there. It's going to be a hot market. It's going to be a huge market. I feel California may take a small dip this year. And I feel Puerto Rico will take that third place position as hottest solar market in power, with Florida and Texas. So yeah, Jeremy, you had a question, brother?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Well, I've been following up some leads from Puerto Rico that wants to get the solar leasing proposal.
Okay.
And I found a lot of issues with the location.
Okay.
When you put the address on the platform, a lot of address on Puerto Rico is like kind of tricky because it's not like out here that you put the
It's not
number,
accurate with
yeah,
satellite
it's a lot
imagery or
of
whatever.
situation. For example, the first one, the address of the home was related with the postmail box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the postmail box was like in other place, in the same area, but in other place, and the house was in other place. And the platform doesn't recognize the address. You know that the latitude, longitude,
Yeah.
all that stuff. What happened? I sent an email to the guy that was on the last meeting with us. He referred me to the person that is looking the system to see how they can identify that home, because if you don't identify the home in the system, doesn't go through.
Is that Powur's platform? Is that Sunnova? Where
Sunnova.
was that disconnect at? Oh, Sunnova?
No, the Sunnova. Yeah,
Okay.
Sunnova.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in mind, guys. I guess if you work with Sunnova out there, because Sunnova, I believe, is an option that we could do out there. Sunnova, then there's the other financing NEM. Rich, you're saying no to Sunnova?
There's only one option right now.
Just the NEM?
Yeah, just A&M is the only option out.
ENIEM, I think is the name of financing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the only company right now, and they just came on board to do financing out there.
Yeah, like a week or two ago. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So that could be the issue that you run into, Jeremy. So yeah, so NEM, look it up in our knowledge base. I believe you do need to get some sort of certification on there before you can offer it. ENIEM. Rich, I don't know if you want to type that in the chat. So it's
Enium.
not NEM. Yeah, something like that. It sounds like NEM 2.0.
Yeah,
NEM
Enium
3.0.
Financial.
Yeah. So cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. And then, so we still have power hours, guys. So make sure you're utilizing that with recruiting. Obviously, it's 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So utilize that. Market spotlights. I had a conversation with a rep earlier that's wanting to do, Zoom and tap into all the different markets. He's new into solar, and it was a recruiting call. And I brought up the market spotlights. Like, hey, if you want to start pitching and selling deals in Massachusetts, this is just a really good way to kind of figure out the flows and everything like that in Massachusetts. Plug it into that market spotlight, or Connecticut, or Pennsylvania, or Texas, California, right? So make sure you're plugging into those. Puerto Rico, I believe they just started doing a Puerto Rico one as well. I'm sure Moises runs that one as well. So make sure you're plugging into those, especially if you're planning to get into new markets. Check out Powur Calendar. With Powur Calendar as well, we're not the only ones with meetings, and market spotlights aren't the only ones. Jesse and I believe his team was on an enterprise training earlier today. I assume with Melissa Dawson. I believe she does enterprise training Thursdays at like 11-ish, I believe. So that's on Powur Calendar. So there's always tons of trainings on Powur Calendar. NEM. Okay, yeah, thank you, Rich. So there's always tons of training on Powur Calendar that you can plug into. I know Bernasso and Cotter, they do a training. I believe it's 10 Tuesdays, like at 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time. Feel free to plug in all those. What's the name? JC, he does one as well. So plug in all those guys. Plug in. And next is, okay, so there's still the breakthroughs. We had the breakthrough yesterday. Those are just little hours, just little check-ins, just little heat checks, right? So those are good to kind of plug into. I believe next week, if not the following week, will be the big 4 hours training. I'm not sure what the theme is for this this month's breakthrough mastermind, where it's a 4-hour training. I don't know if they announced that yet. I assume it might even be something Puerto Rico related, honestly, with us just kind of launching it. So I'm sure that if it's not the main point is Puerto Rico, I'm sure that's going to have a huge section in it. So make sure that you're on that. I believe that usually runs like 9 to 1 o'clock usually about 11:45, 12 o'clock. Jonathan Budd hops on there and he does his little State of the Union address and all that good stuff. And then Jim Wooten, Big Jimmy, he unfortunately did not get to see me eat shrimp with my bare hands. Unfortunately, Jackson had to see me do that, and Dana and Brad. But so Jim Wooten, he brought to my attention. So there is a training in Chico, California, I believe the 29th or 27th of June. I believe it's a Tuesday. And it is ran by Solar Joe, Jake Hess, Michael O'Donnell, Danny Pessy, and a few others that I don't know. But those are like the main 4 that I know. And those guys are amazing. Danny Pessy, Solar Joe, Jake Hess, Michael O'Donnell. I believe it's $50-$60 for a ticket. It's like an all-day training, like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. or something. I'm probably going to go. I recommend anyone else in the California area to attend that. It's like $50-$60 or so, and I think it's like $100 or so for like a VIP and gym. So there's a few obviously added bonuses for the VIP. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend to go. Terry, Chris, all you guys, I'd love to see you guys out there. Alan, Chris, Jackson as well. I'd love to see all you guys out there. So it's a Tuesday. So whatever day is a Tuesday, it's either the 29th or 27th. So someone can confirm that. It's like 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. or something. 27. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So that'll be huge. It'll be in-person training, I believe, as well. So that'd be huge. And most of them, obviously, dang it, Chris. All those will be those are all friends of the channel, I guess you can say too. So it's good, obviously, to connect with those guys in person every time we're able to. So yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so with that, I've still been getting summersolarshow.com. Thank you. Yeah, Jim just posted the link if you want to click on that, summersolarshow.com. I believe it's hosted by Ohm Energy or Ohm Solar, OHM. So they are hosting that. Yeah, so definitely check it out. That very, very intriguing as soon as I seen who the lineup was. Very, very intriguing, especially if it's only $50. It is only a one-day thing, but yeah, I mean, Danny Pessy hosts a online training course that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Michael O'Donnell has a best-selling book in door-to-door training. I think myself, Chris, and Terry all have that book as well. Anyone that got it at SolarCon. And yeah, so very, very good stuff, very, very good information. And obviously Solar Joe, that man's a genius. You guys have all heard his training with us. Jake Hess, he's a genius as well. Yeah, so it's gonna be huge, guys. Jackson said he'll be there. Awesome, beautiful. So yeah, so let's try to get a little caravan up there. I think that'd be fun and connect with those guys in person. So I've still been getting a lot of questions about Sunnova recently. So I did kind of want to do my run through so you guys can just kind of see it and just kind of hopefully clarify and slow it down and clarify any questions you may have. I don't know if anyone has a specific proposal they're working on that I can maybe work with. If not, I can just pick a random. Oh, Solar Saturday. Thank you. This Saturday, it was in my notes, but I totally forgot to put that. Thank you, Chris. I need you on the call more often. No, Solar Saturday, that's this Saturday. I believe it starts at 9 a.m. All the hitters, they're going to be a part of that. So please make sure that you're a part of that as well. Oh, side note, I will be out of town tomorrow and Saturday. We will be up in the hills where there's no cell phone service. So unfortunately, I won't be getting any text messages or emails or anything like that while I'm up there. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Terry or Bo or Dana, some of the other mentors, Jim and Rich, any of the other mentors that we have on the team. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that. So yeah, so I'll be out Friday and Saturday. Well, and then Bo will be out of town this weekend as well. So don't reach out to Bo. But yeah, so thank you for bringing that up, Chris. Solar Saturday, I will miss it, but please attend. And I would love to kind of hear some feedback, and maybe Wednesday we can kind of talk about it 10, 15, 20 minutes as to what was discussed on Solar Saturday. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone has any particular proposal that you're working on that maybe we could walk through with Sunnova. If not, I could just pick a random one, but I would love to just kind of show my process with Sunnova. It's one of the things where it is a bunch of added steps, but once you get it down, honestly, it's not that hard. Even I built one recently that had like 8 different roof planes. And once you kind of set everything in the first roof plane, it's fairly easy to adjust those accordingly. So
can you do it with a battery?
I'm sorry?
Can you do one with a battery?
Yes, I will show you my math on that. Okay, so I guess I could just pick one real quick. If no one has a particular proposal you want me to build off of,
You can build
Uh,
off mine. I got one.
can you post the link in the, is it Vision?
No,
Okay, yeah, post the link in the chat and I'll grab onto it. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's Sunnova, right?
Yes.
Just got access the other day. What'd you get access to, Chris? Harris?
Just got access to the Sunnova Twitter.
Oh, gotcha. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, and that's something else too. So I do not process Sunnova. Send me the proposal link.
oh crap. Oh,
You send me like your Powur login.
oh.
You post that in the chat. Everyone has your login now. No. But Dana's all snacking right now while he's driving. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I do not handle, getting the login set up. So please don't reach out to me to get the login. I've had people reach out to me with e-wallet questions and stuff. I'm just not in that department. I apologize. I'm just a closer like you guys, boys and ladies. So please don't ask me to activate your Sunnova. Contact Jay, which we have. I mean, I feel like we've done like 2 or 3 trainings with Jay in the last 3 months. So he's posted his contact information a bunch of times, email and phone number. If anyone has that, I don't know if anyone wants to post that in the chat. So please, any Sunnova questions, please post that. Okay, Susan Melton. Okay, so handle Q cells. Ground mount, huh? Or is this a roof mount and the house is being built?
The house is being built. The house is built right now,
Okay.
but it's not coming up. So
Right. Okay. All right. And then does this one have batteries or we're just still going to play with batteries?
you can play with batteries. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Well, let's do this. Let's turn off that incentive. I'll make some adjustments. Don't yell at me. So I'm gonna turn off the incentive. Let's just set it to finance. Just, hey, I just pitched a sunlight, whatever, right? I've actually really enjoyed the sunlights with the high interest rates lately. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. As far as the finance goes, I've really enjoyed the sunlights with the high interest rate as of recently. I think 2 of my last 3 sales have been that. But anyways, so Sunnova, they do have financing, guys. It's not just leases or PPAs. They do have financing, and they're financing in the 3 to 4% interest range. From what I've been seeing, is actually better than what like a Sunlight, not Mosaic, but Sunlight or GoodLeap will offer as of recently. I know GoodLeap, they just got hit with another increase. I believe Sunlight's getting another increase, or may have just got hit with an increase as well. So Sunnova does have aggressive financing with the lower interest terms. As I said, Sunlight, I have enjoyed their 9-10% interest rates because they are pretty much like cash. There's maybe like a 1 to 3% charge. I actually just, I mentored the deal with Maha Nevada, and they got a bid from another company. It was like 51K. And so I came in, same term, same interest, and it was like 47 or 48K, right? So I just kind of underbid them a few grand, and they're like, cool, I like that. But I said, well, hold on. And I switched it to that 10% interest, and it was like 37K. It's a no-brainer. And these guys were going to pay off their system in 5 years. I'm like, dude, if that's the case, pay it off. $14,000 less, right? It's no brainer. But anyways, I feel Sunnova lacks in that area with like a shorter term or higher interest rate. I feel like Sunnova is not the best for that. But if you're doing like the most savings, it is great. If you're dealing with elderly folks, it is great. It will show the most savings as well. Another thing too, if your customer's planning on moving in a couple years, Sunnova is a great option because a lot of times the monthly on like a 1.9 or 2.9 interest, or excuse me, percent escalator will come out cheaper than a loan or even a locked in PPA or lease price. So there's a few factors with that. There's another rep, he's not on the call. I'm not going to name him, but we pitched a customer and dude was a millionaire. We already pitched him cash, and then he got the mentee or the tier 1 got hyped about Sunnova and all the training. All right, obviously it's a great it's great product, great training that Jay's been offering us. He's like, let's pitch this, and he scheduled a call with the customer and everything. And I avoided it the entire time, and the reps all chime in. He's like, "Hey, pitch to Sunnova, or talk to him about Sunnova." And I brought up lease, and the customer, I'm not doing lease, I'm paying cash, you know. So I'm like, there's a time and a place to pitch Sunnova. There's a time and a place to pitch Sunlight. There's a time and a place to pitch cash. So just kind of trust your mentors in those as well. But anyways, yeah. So I'll stop ranting about that. So we just pitched a deal, or we're working on pitching a deal. We want to get a couple bids going for a customer. Okay, this is Susan Melton. Her home is being built. Let me add the battery as well. Extended warranty. I'm going to add the battery. What kind of solar edge or solar
The
edge?
first part of it, isn't it, in equipment.
Oh yeah, you updated that. You don't have that little page.
There you go.
10 kilowatt or 20 kilowatt, Jim? You're the one that wanted the battery.
Can you do 13?
It's solar edge.
Dude, whatever you want.
I'll do 10. Yeah. Okay. So 10. Make sure the price is in there. Here's another thing too, guys. I know a lot of people don't know the pricing tab. Use the pricing tab. It breaks everything down for us. Okay, battery. Okay, cool. Battery adders in there. Okay, cool. All right.
So
So
real quick question, Anthony. If
Yes.
you do Sunnova, are you going to do the extended 30-year warranty or just run off Sunnova's 25-year warranty?
honestly, I would. I don't include the power care most of the time. I'll kind of pitch the power care as an extended warranty, blah, blah, blah. I guess also it depends on the situation. I did win a job over in Texas against Tesla because they did like our 30-year warranty. Now, given that wasn't a Sunnova. So the 30-year warranty is attractive. So, I mean, it depends, right? If we're in a competitive situation, yes, the Sunnova PPA and ownership warranty is very aggressive. I'd say even better than most of our other options besides the Power Care 30. But there are certain situations where the Power Care 30 will help you stick out a little bit more, especially if it's against like a Sunrun or a Tesla who already have a similar warranty. So with that, I would include the Power Care, but 7 times out of 10, I'm just kind of harping on Sunnova's warranty. Because they do have a power production guarantee, which no other lender and even the Power Care doesn't offer that, which is huge. Okay, so got the system, handwall Q cells, solar edge, blah, 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 13.6. Here's a production. Here's all this good stuff. Here's a monthly 25-year 399,337 a month, loan amount 88K, 88.5. Okay, cool. So, okay, now I want to do other options. So what we do in Sunnova, so we go right here and do new lead. New lead that loads. So remember, build it in Solo first. Get it built in Solo first. Request proposal like you normally would. Treat it like a regular process. Once you finish all those steps and you build it out, however, then transfer the information into Sunnova. So we're going to do the address.
Are they still
History.
using solar? I thought we was going to Vision.
Either or. Vision as
Either
well.
or.
Yeah, either or. So build it wherever. Solo, Vision, wherever.
Yeah.
Solar system. So obviously this is a full solar system setup. This is not retrofit. Retrofit's obviously just battery only. We don't do that. So every time just do solar system. And same thing as Sunnova, the house doesn't pop up, so that's fine. Usually you got to verify address. Usually at most they just add the little extra 4 numbers at the end of the zip code, so just verify that. Right now it says it's listed. They do a title search on the property. It says it's listed as the LLC. I assume that's going to be updated, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I'll switch it to the customer's name right now. So you can update it right here. Susan Melton. And if anyone wants to watch the chat, if anyone has any questions, if someone can kind of step up and point out any questions that may pop up for me. Phone number. So I mean, if you sell this, Rich, I get credit. I want you to know that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, we could try that address in a little bit, Jeremy. All right. Who's the utility? Rich?
It'll be Kissimmee.
Okay. Current rate plan. Okay.
Anthony, are you Are you working on Richard's proposal or are you working on,
This is just one of Richard's proposal.
okay.
Yeah.
Because you were asking Jim about the battery, which battery he wanted.
That well, yeah, because there's a math to it, and so Jim, I assume, just wanted to see how I do that math, kind of break that down. So that's why he's
Gotcha.
asking about that. Okay. So current plan, Kissimmee, current rate plan. Some utilities have different rate plans. So just kind of make sure. A lot of times it goes automatically, like to a NEM. Obviously, current plan most of the time will not be a NEM, right? It'd be a regular residential, domestic, however they have it listed, right? Obviously, with Kissimmee, it looks like there's no obviously it looks like there's no other options, so that's cool. It kind of autofills for that. So it's residential. Estimated utility increase, I think they usually cap like 3 to 4%. I think that is very conservative for utilities. But you know, it is what it is. Annual. So obviously I just go right here. Click right here, 16,409. That's annual usage. Put that in there, save and continue. Any questions on that, on what I just did? Obviously, we enter the customer's basic information. Now that's a customer's utility information. Now system design. Nothing appears, right? So now we go to create new design. Now this looks scary at first time you see it, but once you play with it, it's not that hard to deal with. So it asks module, inverter, racking, monitor, other, shade, study, blah, blah, blah. All the information you need is going to be right here in this page. I call it the second page of the proposal. Page 1, customer info. Page 2 is the system information. So all the information we need is right here. So modules, panel, module model, 400s, easy. Kind of wish that this was a more intricate install because this is going to be super easy. But we see we have one roof array, right? So where I click was right here, system details. You can also click it in the edit, and the system details are right here as well if you click edit. But right, so you're going through here, that tells you your panel, your inverter, and then system details tells you the azimuth, the tilt, the shade, and the number of modules. A little bit more detail that goes into sun hours as well. It also shows how many potential arrays there are and how many potential, well, it doesn't show the potential modules, but okay, cool. So now we know that we need 34 panels. 34. Boom. Okay, that row's done. Inverter manufacturer. Enphase or Solar Edge. This one is Solar Edge.
Solar Edge.
This is, you're doing the 10,000. Okay, so inverter model. Look for the 10,000. Honestly, I don't know what the difference is. I know this one's obviously the energy hub. Are you doing the energy hub or just regular?
Just regular.
Okay.
You can do it either way. It don't matter.
I'm gonna pick one. I don't know if anyone knows the differences between these 4 different 10,000s, but I'm just gonna pick one. And then guess what? There's one. Cool. Racking. Unirack. Easy. They used to have all the different approved racking, and that would actually get confusing for reps. But yeah, Unirack. Monitoring is Enphase or Solar Edge. Easy. Solar Edge. Monitoring. Easy.
All right.
Other. Solar Edge has optimizers. Optimizers. Boom. That's it. Right. So if there's additional arrays, we can add. Oh, I got to set all this too. But it's very easy to add. Okay. Tilt. Oh my God, what's the tilt? It's right here, guys. Boom. So I take that number, 25. That's it. Azimuth. Boom.
Yeah,
Take that
Anthony.
number, 204. Yes, sir.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you pick M phase, there's multiple options with the monitor. How do you find out which one?
I should just pick the first one, and no one's yelled at me yet. So it's been working.
Okay.
I wish I had a more in-depth answer, but a lot of times I just kind of go with my gut. And if I don't get corrected or yelled at, I keep doing it. Yeah. So, okay. I wish I had a better answer.
I
for you,
usually
though.
pick the ones with the most words.
Yeah. It's the P3045 NM 4R or whatever. Yeah. And then, but another thing with Enphase, there's no other for the Enphases, so you don't need to pick anything in there. Okay, and then solar availability. This is the one that could get you crossed up. So shade is 3%. That means that they're expecting 3%. Honestly, the shade's probably 0, but Powur's being conservative or solar's being conservative, so they add 3%. And I think that's just kind of a golden rule. So if you ever run into a situation where someone has the same exact panel same exact panel layout, but they're producing X amount more. They just have their shading set to 0, which is best case scenario, perfect scenario, right? Obviously, we know things happen. So anyways, so 3%, that's being conservative. Don't put 3% here though. Whatever that percentage is in shading, subtract it from 100, because this is kind of the asking the opposite. So 3% shading, 90% solar availability.
Hey,
Okay.
Anthony,
Yes, sir.
real quick. So that's an excellent point that you just made right there. If you're in a competitive bid and the competitor's offering the same exact solution that you're offering, but they're getting better production,
Yep.
you know, we always think, you know, what can I do about that? Oh my God, what is that? It's the shading. So that's so good. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. So that's for everybody. That's a gold nugget right there.
Because we could request a revision to solo. And I believe in Vision, you could, I haven't done my Vision training yet, guys, sorry, don't yell at me. But I believe in Vision, you can adjust the shading as well manually, but that's manual, that's man-made, that's human adjustments, right? I can go in here and I can set I can set the azimuth to 180, that's perfect south. I can set the solar availability to 100, right? And I know Dana's ran into it, I know all you guys have probably ran into it, that have sold multiple deals. You probably ran into situations where, well, this person's saying it's a 10 kilowatt and it's going to produce exactly 18,000 kilowatt hours. Why is your system only doing 16.5? I promise you guys, right now in the industry, maybe 10, 15 years ago back in the day, there was a difference in panels and production, all that stuff. I promise you guys, even with SunPower, even with some of these crazy panels, the end of the day, the production will be very, 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 very similar. If there's any drastic differences, I promise you, they're just exaggerating on the shade, exaggerating on this, exaggerating on that. And I've lost deals to that, honestly, as well. And it's just, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, to tell a customer best case scenario, because we've been in this long enough to know it never goes best case scenario. Okay, so solar availability 97%, azimuths 204, and like I said, I just got all the information from right here. If it was this array, the azimuth will be 114, 25, and 97, 293, 20, right? So it's simple, right? Transfer that information. So add additional array. You could click add additional rate. It keeps most of the stuff in there already for you. You can just make the adjustments on number of panels, and you can make adjustments on the shade study, right? The tilt, the azimuth, or the solar availability. Okay, let me remove this array. Easy. Okay, so any questions on this before I kind of move forward? Very simple. Like I said, once you do it, you just kind of follow the things. As Chris Harris said, you know, with the end phase, if you pick that, it kind of switches things up a little bit. Just don't do other, and then the monitoring, I just picked the first one. And then add additional array if you need to add additional arrays. All right, and then system add-ons. Battery. Cool. This is where it gets a little funky. So, well, actually, this one. Why is it, Richard? What'd you do? Why won't it let me pick a battery? Okay, it's not letting me pick a battery. Huh. We switch to end phase, maybe?
Did you select the correct inverter, Anthony?
Yeah, it's all solar edge. It's not even giving me an option to drop down the battery.
But
Okay,
did
well,
you select the energy hub?
Sorry?
The energy hub, did you select that one?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's do energy hub for this one, for this example. Boom. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why we got Dana on the team. All right. Energy hub, okay. So now we got the storage, we got the equipment manufacturer, obviously solar edge inverter. Dana brought up a good point. It has to be energy hub if we're gonna do a battery. So solar edge inverter, we're doing the 10 kilowatt quantity. We were doing one. Solar edge technology, the inverter setup, we're doing the 10 kilowatt energy hub, 1. Now, if you're doing an end phase, it'll ask the same questions, but the end phase, the ratio is 1 to 4. Yeah, 1 to 4. So if you're doing a 3 kilowatt battery, that means this first number will be 1. This one will be 4, or am I tripping? Yeah, because a 10 kilowatt is 3 by 12. So if it's a 10 kilowatt end phase, this is 3 and this is 12. That's just the layout. Don't ask me those technical questions. That's just the layout. Yeah, so but obviously with solar edge, 1 10 kilowatt batteries, 10 kilowatt battery, and then one energy hub is all you need. Thank you for that, Dana. All right, any questions on this? And then the pricing, I think that's where it gets a little technical, and just some solar knowledge and EPC knowledge needs to come into play, because it gets kind of, I don't like how they price batteries in here. I'm sure Jim doesn't either. DC with storage has also been selected. Warning.
Anthony,
Yeah.
hey, if you're doing the promo where they're getting the free battery, do you still include the battery and the price on the solo proposal?
That's California only,
Yeah, California. Yeah.
and I feel like the battery's not actually free, is what we got from last time.
Okay.
Like we still have it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what am I missing here, guys? I've never built it with solar, right? So I guess we're all kind of getting trained right now.
You can change it to end phase, heck.
Okay, we'll change the end phase real quick, unless I get this again. Select as DC, but storage inverter is this one. Select it. Remove the storage inverter to switch to AC. What? That's solar, or whatever. Okay, we'll do end phase.
Well, I'm glad it's technical for you too, because I had a lot of questions in that different,
It's technical, I don't know the answer.
Okay, well, I'm glad we don't have to. That's awesome.
Okay, IQA plus. So I'm just gonna switch this to end phase real quick. For time's sake, yeah, I just picked the first one, Chris. Then there's no other. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing. Equipment, end phase, equipment model. We will do the 3. Same thing. 3, no. 3 by 12. Boom, boom. Yep. All right, 3 by 12, because obviously the batteries are set in 3s. All right, we made it through there. Okay, so now finance type. In this situation, Florida, they don't allow PPA storage. Well, no, it's storage. So usually you can't do a PPA with storage. You can only do lease or loan. Some territories, well, I will say that some territories as well will only allow, like, I feel like the Carolinas, you're about to picture a Carolina one, Rich. I feel like you can only do a loan in Carolina. They won't allow a lease or PPA. So just be aware of certain territories. But let's say this was, I know for sure, California, no storage, you'd have lease, PPA, or loan as an option. So let's do loan for now. So loan, 25-year, you can pick your rate, 399. It's gonna load. Okay. What I always do is dealer EPC per watt. Okay. Dealer EPC per watt. That's what I do every time. I know there's other ways around it, but just me, what I do is dealer EPC per watt. Now I need to go back to the solo. Go back into solo, and like I said, want to click on pricing. Click on the top right, click on pricing. This shows the breakdown of the cost of the system. 651. Oh boy, it's an expensive system. 651, right? So, 2 things real quick. Let me remove the battery. I want the price of the solar. Okay, 493. But we have this beautiful 40% dealer fee right here, right? So it's 493. So let me set this to cash. Anytime you're dealing with a Sunnova proposal, you want your proposal set to cash first. Okay, so now click on pricing. Now it's 301. Beautiful. 301. New lead.
And that's without the battery, right?
Without the battery, correct. Because we're going to do kind of some backwards math right now.
I believe you got the warranty, the extended warranty too.
I will include that in for now. Well, extended warranty is 10 cents. So if you want to take it off, just put 291. So or no, it's 8 cents. So 293. All right. So 301 escalator, obviously with the loan, there's no escalator. Rebate, you can, yeah, no. Down payment, so if they want to do down payment, tax. I never adjust any of these, literally just term length, APR, dealer EPC per watt, and then the price that you get from pricing, 301. Okay, battery. So they have, it might actually, okay, so it's something like 2,500 per kilowatt hour per battery or something like that. I've tried to do the math backwards with it and I just always got errors. So I'm going to set the battery price to 2,500. Okay. This is where it gets a little mathy and a little nerdy. So now I'm gonna go in here, go to equipment. I have my pad and paper right here. So I'm gonna write this down.
Change them to N-phase batteries so you make sure you get the right batteries.
Okay, so write down this number. 12938.20. Or write down this number, 396. Okay, so this is the price with the battery. Now what I'm gonna do, follow me. So we put how much as an adder for a battery in this? 2,500. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2,500 and I'm gonna figure out what that is on a price per watt to a 13.6 kilowatt system. Where's my calculator at?
Where did the 2,500 come from?
That's how much of an adder Sunnova allows for a battery.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm gonna take 2,500 divided by 13,600. So that is an 18.3. Call it 19 cents. So it is 19 cents. Okay. Now I'm going to subtract 19 cents from this 396.
Yeah.
So 396. And don't blame me, guys, blame Sunnova. 396 minus 19 cents, so 377. So now I'm telling Sunnova our system costs 377 and our battery costs 2,500. At the end of the day, when they pay Powur, who cares? They're paying us that full 396. Does that make sense? That's why I did what I did. So in Sunnova, I'm going to switch this price to, okay, I'm going to write that down. 396, hold on. 396 minus 19 cents. 377. I'm gonna switch it to 377. So we're telling Sunnova it's 377 per watt with a $2,500 battery for a 10 kilowatt battery. Like I said, sure, it may be funky on the back end, but at the end of the day, they're gonna pay us or pay Powur 53,851, right? Which is the cost of the system. So Powur will
Where did
pay
you say that
accordingly.
2,500 came from?
That's just what Sunnova allows as an adder for batteries for some reason.
I thought that was, but what I remembered, I thought that 2,500 was to replace the battery after 10 years. or
No,
something
that's a like per kilowatt hour is 25 cents per watt or something like that. But pretty much you can't put in more than $2,500 as a battery adder in here.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Hey, Anthony,
Yes, sir.
one thing I'll do is I'll go into adders and put about $2,500 into the adders. And then whatever adder I put it in, that'll give you a cost per watt also.
And okay, yeah, I see what
Then
you're
you can
saying.
do the,
Yeah,
then
you
can
can
do
see
the
it as a
battery.
line item.
You do the battery and like you see a line item for 2,500, you add those two and you get your cost
Yeah.
there too.
And then you have roof cost of 19 cents, you know, that's your 2,500. Yeah. So
Yeah,
pretty
well,
much
yeah.
that 2,500 is going to change based on your system size, guys, right? So right now it's 19 cents. If you're pitching a 5 kilowatt, it's going to be a lot higher. If you're pitching a 20 kilowatt, it's going to be a lot lower, right? So just kind of do the math. It's funky, but you got to do it. Non-system add-ons, this is MPUs, tree trimming, all that nonsense. You don't, even if you're doing any of those things, you don't need to make it a line item. That just complicates it. Don't even put that stuff in there. Just make sure that's in the total cost of the dealer EPC per watt price. Any question on this? I know it's a little funky, but it's just the way Sunnova does it, and it's the way I've found that it works, if that makes sense.
That's a lot of funky, not a little.
It's a lot, yeah. So yeah, so okay.
You get
So,
a call from me, buddy.
yeah. All right, so now we are safe to click run pricing. Should be at least. They're really good at finding issues. If there's something wrong, they'll tell you. So now we're able to run pricing. Boom. Now we have the pricing right here. Total EPC is 85K. What was it before with Sunlight? I feel like it was like 88, right? The
88.
Sunlight, yeah. So it's $3,000 less on the dealer fees, which is nice. Dealer EPC 53. APR 399, monthly snow. I don't know if anyone remember the monthly payment for sunlight, but 323, that's not bad. Solar rate of 18 cents, it's actually really good. For a 13 kilowatt, a 10 kilowatt battery, that's really good. Estimated production 20,000. Monthly add-on payment 68. So it's saying the battery costs about 70 bucks, but obviously we know it's more. New utility bill 10 bucks. Total monthly electricity cost $333 per month. That's a good deal. So now this is what a lot of people forget. So you want to click on add to save list. Oh, here's nothing. So I could just do this, click to lease, 25-year. Let's do a 2.9 escalator. 2,500. Click run pricing. So you can do it as many times you want. I could have switched the interest rate. I could have switched the term. You could do it any way you want, and then you can have multiple of these. But you have to click add to save list. Let's see the difference on these. 237. So 13.4 cents for a 13 kilowatt with a 10 kilowatt battery. That's really good, guys. 13.4 cents. Tell you guys in California, the cost of construction is a lot cheaper in Florida though. So ours would be like 40% more minimum. But yeah, that's really good pricing. What's your margin set at? It's pretty decent margin too. It's like $11,000 commission. So yes, that's pretty good. All right, so this is a lease. This is an ownership. Make sure you click on add to save list. Any of the proposals that you kind of want to keep and present, all that good stuff. So you have to add a save list. If I went back and exited this out or whatever, and I came back to this, all this will be gone. All the little things that I did will be gone, okay? So add to save list, and then scroll down here to the bottom right, and it says save 2 quotes. So this locks in these 2 quotes. I can still make adjustments. I can still make different proposals. I can still make as many proposals as I want, but this will lock in these 2 that we're going to just use for example's sake. So save 2 quotes. Once they're saved, they're right here, they're green. Okay, so now I can go to either one of these. So this is something that, who was it, Jim or was it Rich? You didn't know that you can do this, but you can actually download a copy of this PDF. So one thing that does kind of suck is that little breakdown of the finances and the little breakdown of let's see, let me go back real quick. Oh, no. Okay. The breakdown of all this, right? It's just kind of at a glance. Don't show your customer this. This is ugly, right? But this is just at a glance for our information. But what sucks is there's no after 18-month payment for Sunnova, for the loan, excuse me. So it doesn't show that or specify that, which obviously a lot of customers ask, or we want to inform customers prior to signing. But anyways, okay, so let's go to the loan. Now it takes us right here. We can actually run credit. We can send contracts right here. If we wanted to, and within the Sunnova portal, you can run credit in person, or you can run credit. You can send them a link. Now, what Sunnova does, which is kind of, well, this is California specific, but obviously, all you guys selling in California, you know, there's a CPUC document that's like 25 pages or whatever that needs to be signed prior to the HIC contract. That's why when we send a California contract, the first pages of that is the CPUC document, then the HIC. That's because obviously DocuSign timestamps, and PG&E wants to see the timestamp. They sign the CPUC prior to the HIC. But anyways, Sunnova, they actually have the CPUC document included in the credit check. So if you were to email a credit check to a customer for Sunnova, you will get the email first, and it'll be your CPUC document. And then you input your HIS license information. You sign off on that. So just a heads up on that. Okay, generate proposal. You can download it or email it. I'm going to download it. So I believe you email it goes to the customer. So I'm going to download it. It takes a minute or so. Jim, I saw yourself mute while we're waiting. Do you have a comment or a question?
I'm sorry, I'm moving around, and so I might have hit something.
Oh, you're good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Anthony, don't make the mistake I did first time I did this and hit email, and it actually sent it to the homeowner prior to me having to talk to him.
Yeah. So that could steal a lot of the thunder, guys.
Anthony, doesn't it have a customer view too on the bottom left there?
Yeah, I never use it though. I never use it. Honestly, when I present Sunnovas, I usually show the design in Powur.
Yeah.
I'll show them like the sunlight or the good leap or whatever, and then I'll bring up the Sunnova. So Sunnova, so it downloaded. So Sunnova actually has a really nice proposal. Kind of reminds me, for those of you who've been selling long, kind of reminds me of like an old like Sunrun or Solar City proposal. But it's pretty nice setup, right? So here's all the pros and all that stuff, customer info, rep information. I told you, Rich, I'm attached to this job now.
It's a mentee,
right.
it's a mentees deal, so talk to him.
Yeah.
I'll give you a guess who it is.
Oh god. Yeah. He called me yesterday too. Anyways, there's some mentees, guys. No, so this gives a nice breakdown of solar, how it works, and all that good stuff, right? So it's a nice proposal. And then here's a breakdown. It shows the Q cells, shows this is the Enphase system, battery backup, solar power, solar system size is 13.6. The estimation, the 25-year estimation, number of batteries. 3 batteries obviously equals a 10.08 kilowatt hour Enphase battery. Offset, and then it shows the monthly right here. And then right here, this is where it shows the after 18 months, right? So 323 to 475. And yeah, and so this is that proposal. And like I said, it's pretty nice, right? It shows all the features and all that good stuff. And then this is actually the contract as well. So if and when the customer agrees, this would actually be the contract that the customer will sign. So this is 50 pages or however long of all this stuff and description of ESS and just all this stuff. It's all included in there. Once again, for those that have sold like Sunrun or Solar City or some of those old PPAs and leases, this probably looks very, very familiar to you, and this includes all that same stuff. And then what's nice to, let's see, what was that? Itemization, but it just shows the full amount. No, I'll show this on the lease. Okay, so let's go back here. And let's go back to this.
Hey, Anthony, also on that proposal, and I think it's on the first or second page, it states in there the guarantee that Sunnova offers for production.
The power
Yeah.
production guarantee.
Yeah.
I believe it's 80%.
Hold on, I think that's what it is, 80-85%, something like that.
Yeah, so they'll guarantee 80-85%. So if it's 20,211, they'll guarantee 80-85% of that a year. A year. That doesn't mean they have one bad month. They look at on a year. So let's say, let's say 1 month there's a bad month, whatever, right? And it gets addressed. Once again, this number is actually probably conservative. What's Powur set to? Yeah, see, Powur's saying, and we already saw Powur's including a 3% buffer at 21. Sunnova's including even more of a buffer, and we entered the same numbers in there. And they're saying it's only going to produce 20,000. So there's a buffer in there, but they will guarantee 85% of that, of whatever this number is. And it's in writing, it's in here somewhere. But
So what happens if they don't hit the
they will be reimbursed.
Yeah.
They will be reimbursed. And there's a page in here that kind of shows how that's broken down. I believe in most situations, they'll actually, because obviously that difference will be paid to the utility. In most situations, it is set to where, like, let's say you had to pay an extra $100 or whatever to the utility because the system underperformed, not because you used more, but because the system underperformed. You may get like 105 back from Sunnova. But also it is a cumulative. Okay, so let's say this happens in year 7. Obviously, there's degradation, there's other things involved. So year 7, let's just do simple math, and let's say it stays exactly the same. Year 7, that's 140,000 kilowatt hours in 7 years that the system would have produced. They will look and see, hey, did the system produce 140,000 over the course of 7 years? Right. So let's say year 7's a bad year and it produces 15,000 instead of 20,000. If accumulatively it still produced 140,000 over 7 years, they won't get reimbursed. So just a heads up. Still a great deal though. Still a great program. I see there's a few old PPA and lease experts on here too, so they may be able to confirm or deny that as well. All right, now I'm downloading the lease proposal. And honestly, there's no difference between lease and PPA as far as pricing goes. The main thing though is you want to do a PPA easy. So let's say you do a regular PPA, so you will be charged as the PPA produces. So if it produces 20,000 in a year, but the majority of that, as we know, is in the summertime. Those summer months will be higher than it is in the winter months, similar to utility bill. That's a regular PPA. PPA Easy, they levelize the payments like a lease or a loan. So it's whatever the payment is, $240 a month, right? So it's the difference between PPA and PPA Easy. Usually you want to do a PPA most times, or PPA Easy, excuse me. The main difference I know between a lease and PPA though as well is with the lease, you can do a battery. For some reason you can't with PPA. Also with the lease, there's usually tax involved. So if there's specific state or county tax, a lease will have that as well. So the proposal may say 250, but their bills will actually be 283. Because with the lease, there is taxes on that payment. I don't know why. Don't ask me the technical question as to why. That's just what it is. So those are like the main differences I know between a lease and PPA. If anyone else has any other differences that they know of, please feel free to chime in.
Hey,
I know. Yes.
Hey, I'm just curious, why would someone want to do a lease? Like,
so, and we discussed this last time we were in person with like Jim and Brad and everyone. So no offense to the elderly, but if they're in their 70s, 80s, it's great if you don't have tax appetite, or if your tax appetite is crazy and blah, 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 and you owe taxes every year, whatever. It's great to not have to worry about the taxes. Also, if we look at these two, this is a $237 payment, same profits, margins, same everything, same system size. This one's $323, right? So it's significantly cheaper. Yes, this does have a escalator, which we'll look at here in a second.
it's because they're worried about their electric payment, like right in the moment, probably. Like, I don't understand, because most of these
Correct.
people.
Yes. So let's say an elderly person, they may not be around for the next 12 to 15 years. This is a great deal with them. This is going to show them the most savings in the first 12 years, probably, right? Also, if a customer is going to move soon, hey, we're going to stay in the house 2-3 years. Cool. Let's drop
Okay.
your 300. Do you want to pay 323 for a locked-in loan, or do you want to pay 237 a year? And by the end of that term, it's probably 250 or something like that, right? Do you want to
Okay.
get the most upfront savings on your system? Then honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
at least with a high escalator actually is a good deal. And don't let the you can't sell a house with a lease or so. No, that's not true. That's older Sunrun and Solar City systems. I mean, the new systems you can be bought out or can transfer, one-page transfer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's like the two main ones. I did go over a few differences as to when it doesn't work before earlier on the call, but yeah, those are like the main reasons why someone can go with the lease or a PPA. Another huge advantage is they do have a prepaid. I don't know how to do prepaid. I don't have that dialed in yet with the Sunnova portal, but I was working with Jay this weekend on getting that dialed in. So I'm not in a position where I can teach it to you guys, but prepaid PPAs actually are very nice. And that's where it's actually cheaper than a cash system. So let's say you have an elderly person that has cash, which, some of them, they're sitting on a few $100,000, whatever, for their retirement, and they can't take advantage of the tax credit. So they could do a prepay. Okay, so let's say a cash system that Richard's quoting them is 30 grand. You could do a prepay, and the prepay may come out like 22 to 24 grand. It won't be a complete 70% or 30% discount on the cash price, but it could be, 22, 23 grand for the system for a prepaid, plus it comes with a 25-year power production guarantee and all those benefits. So there is that advantage, and that's a really good plan that I enjoy to pitch as well. Like I said, I'm still kind of figuring out how to create it in the Sunnova portal, but that was always a fun one to pitch. And it's different, right? Okay, and then yeah, so here's a breakdown, a month to month or a year to year, breakdown of what that escalator looks like. So obviously we were at 323 with the loan. So it takes 11 years to catch up to the loan. So the customer, even if the customer's going to move in 12 years, this lease blows the loan out of the water. And our loan actually was a little bit, not crazy, but a little bit better than what Sunlight had to offer on their 25-year 3-4%. So I mean, it's good. This is going to show the customer the most savings the first 10 to 12 years of the term.
Anthony, I'm sorry, what escalator was that?
This is a 2%. In California, I think we have access to a 3%. So when I say 2%, it's a, was it 1.9 or 2.9? Hold on. 2.9. Okay, so excuse me. So this is a 3%. Sorry. Yeah, so this is a 3% escalator. I believe California, we can do a 3.9. Which I mean, honestly, compared to, I mean, this was what, 14 cents or so? California, that's killer. Most of the country, that's killer. That's a killer price. Let me do a locked in real quick, just so we could see. So I want to keep all the, okay.
So let's say they lease and they want to go forward. How do we proceed forward with the lease?
Okay, so let's say you're presenting it right here, boom, 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 they like it, cool. So you go in here, you click verify credit, click on verify credit. Kind of scared, there's certain buttons I don't want to press because it'll send Richard's customer a credit check right now. Okay, you click on the lead person, confirm their phone number, obviously. I'm not gonna click on it, but you can click email credit, I take my hands off the mouse, but you can click email credit verification, or you can do run credit right now. So you can actually enter the customer's full birthday and full social to run credit right there. Like I said, if you email the credit verification, you'll get a DocuSign first if it's California with the CPUC doc attached. Customer gets it, they fill out their credit, and then it'll show right here, credit status, credit approved, denied, whatever, conditional. I think those are the three main options. So boom, so you got credit information. Going to the lease and not the loan. Okay, so you got them approved. Fairly simple to get them approved. You'll see right here, obviously this is customer name on contract. They do a title check. Remember when we entered the lead, it was still attached to an LLC or whatever. That's why the title is not checked, but usually the title will be checked that they appear on title. And then right here, it'll say that the credit, you'll have to check that they're credit approved. So then you click review and sign. Okay. Well, usually it'll say in person or email. So obviously make sure you email that for the customer to sign off, or if you're in person, obviously do in person. But yeah, you can send that off for the customer to sign via DocuSign. Now with a Sunnova contract, they only need to sign Sunnova. You don't need a contract from Powur. They just need to sign Sunnova. Okay. Usually you do get emails about the progress of the system, like if it's approved and all that stuff. What I do, you don't have to, because Emily Budd has yelled at me a few times. Anthony, you don't have to do this. But what I do is when I get a credit approval or whatever, I email that over and I'll screenshot, and because it'll show in here that the customer signed and all that good stuff. I'd screenshot in here, hey, Susan Melton, she signed up. Just here you go, right? Just to make sure. But they do get notified, obviously, permanently now, forever and ever. This project is attached to me and me only, can't be attached to anyone else. Where's Rich? But yeah, so they catch it, but just something that I do just for my sanity is every time I close Sunnova, I screenshot it, send them the approval email, and let finance@powur.com know contracts are signed and it's attached to me. So that's something that I do. But yeah, but the signing process is fairly simple. Like I said, once you kind of play around in here, it's fairly simple. You just have to do it a bunch of times, similar to the solo proposal. You just got to play around with it a few times. Okay, and then right here, okay, generate new quote. So go back here, generate new quote. Hopefully it kept like all of our numbers. Yep, okay, so kept all our numbers. So I'm gonna do a lease. I'm doing 0% escalator this time, so we can compare and contrast. 2,500. You're getting a $2,500 battery. Boom. So let's compare their loan, lease 0%, lease 2.9. So 3% escalator. System cost and results in per kilowatt that exceeds the cap rate. Okay, so I did ask Jay about this, and he told me it's not an issue anymore. But so usually with leases and PPAs, the monthly cannot come out more than, wait, use cap rate. Hold on. Let me read that again. Oh, okay, yeah. So that is a per kilowatt hour. So they won't allow your kilowatt hour rate on the leases or PPAs to exceed a certain amount above the utility rate. So obviously with this one, we're at 13 cents and the utility rate is 12. I think it gives like 3 or 4 cent buffer on the leases only. Loans, you can do whatever the heck you want. So that's kind of where it gets tough when you're dealing with the least storage, because it does kind of have that rule built in. And just for giggles, let's just kind of play with it until we can. $50. Yep, even $350. 5. What I'm doing right now is dropping the price, which in reality, you're dropping your commission when you're doing this. So I'm dropping Richard's commission. This is Richard's project now. I'm dropping Richard's commission right now to see if we can build it out. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I don't want to show this though. 325. You know what? Let me do a 2.9 at 325 as well then. Just so we can compare and contrast and look at the difference. So Richard, you got to eat about 50 cents, but I'm sorry.
Man,
50 cents on a what? How big is this? 13.6, just about 7 grand.
good thing. Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Okay. All right. So add a save list. Add a save list. And this is a lot, guys. This is a lot. I mean, we've had 2 or 3 trainings kind of walkthroughs with Jay recently. I think this is the second or third time I've done this. Obviously, if you go to Bo's YouTube as well, all those trainings are recorded, guys. We have great trainings from everyone that has hosted with us or hosted a training. Okay. So this is the.
What is it under Sunnova? On Bo's training?
He's got a glance here. I mean, there's only like 30, 40 trainings on there. So I believe the last few J trainings are on there. Like recently, like it's the last 5 videos, like 2 of them are J, I think. So yeah, so it's just Bo Cogden on YouTube if you just search it. Just go to his page and subscribe. You'll see that our Taylor McCarthy video too has like 14,000 views or something crazy. So it's pretty awesome. So I extended this to a few of our mentors as well. If anyone's interested in doing a training, I mean, our page has gotten a lot of views and a lot of traction lately, and people have reached out to like Bo for recruiting or whatever. So if you want to do a training and just kind of get vision, it's a great way to do that. Okay, let me open up the other. So that was the 0%, 250. And this is the escalator, correct? Yeah.
Richard just got screwed.
Yeah,
Lost
that's
7
all right.
grand. Just lost 7 grand.
Yeah, and it's a mentee too, so I'm making no money off of it.
Yeah. Giving the system away for free at this point.
I might as well pay him.
Yeah.
Finance that thing. Finance, no lease.
Yeah. Or the escalator, the 3% escalator. That was sweet. That was a heck of a deal. $100 off the loan price on the monthly.
What was that escalator? Was that a PPA escalator?
It was a lease with a 2.9, 3%.
And then what's this? one you had to
Honestly,
drop
the
down?
PPA will come out exactly the same. Like I said, just keep in mind that with the lease, it will have local tax added on at the end of the day. Okay, so 206, 250. Now let's go down to it's $45 less. It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
That Richard.
Yeah,
paid
but you
for.
get nothing out of it, Richard.
It'd still be like a 40-cent spread. Okay, so so this one's at 250. This is a locked-in lease, which is, well, no, I have to do a loan now. Okay, I think 6 years. The numbers suck because the price per watt had to drop so fast. But I mean, it still takes 6 years. So if someone's, moving out in the next 5 to 7 years or so, the 2.9 escalator would actually be really good for them. And yeah, I know I kind of wanted to include a Q&A, just a generic or just an open discussion, but I don't think we have time for that.
Hey, I've got a quick question. Have they
sir.
done anything when I go in on those and I press loan? Okay, so like it says loan on there. When I click it, it'll show me that I'm clicking it, but I have no lease option.
So that may
That
be
comes
just in your
down.
area. Just in your area, it just says loan then. Or your area
Yeah.
won't allow, or the area you're working at won't allow a lease or PPA, or Sunnova doesn't offer a lease or PPA in that area.
Okay. That's kind of was my guess. All right, buddy. This has been the best one of these we've had so far to me. I mean, it's really, really good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. No, I don't want anything. No, I want to add on.
I can see you've been practicing, no, Anthony.
Well, when I sold Sunnova a lot prior to Powur, and then even when they launched with Powur, I was one of the first ones with the login. And me and Armando's not on the call, I don't see him, but me and Armando actually pushed like the majority of Sunnova deals when it initially launched. So it's a good product. It really is. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of this.
The
And
one thing you need to sell that over everything else is that production guarantee.
Yeah.
Not a lot of companies offer production guarantees. That
So
production guarantee is golden.
if you're going against just Joe's solar company, yeah, pitch Sunnova. If, like I said, if you're dealing with like Tesla or Sunrun that already has that similar production guarantee and all that stuff, then go with add the 30-year to it. Where's one at?
Is this what you're pushing now? Basically, a Sunnova?
No, last few deals have been the Sunlight 10%.
Yeah,
My last
really?
three of my last deals, one of them was cash, and then two of them was the Sunnova, or excuse me, Sunlight, the 999 interest. You know, it's a different discussion. You know, it's a different discussion.
Like Anthony was
for sure.
saying, this is good for the retirees or the fixed income people who can't get the 30% federal credit. This is a good way to go.
Even just customers that just want to see the most savings. You know, I mean, and they're moving out like I said in 5 to 7 years or whatever. I mean, it's still a good option for sure. And keep in mind too, this is with a battery. This is with was it $13,000 of battery added as well. This is loan 281. So if we sold the customer a loan, it would take 11 years for the 2.9 escalator to catch up to the loan. All the same benefits, all the same system, all the same production, all the same warranty, everything. Take 11 years.
At least I'd make a little bit off that one.
Well, no, this is the same 325. So this is you giving the system away for free. But this is just for comparison's sake to compare. Pretend we don't have a battery, right? So there's no battery in here, and that 12 grand is just commission at that point. So yeah, so I mean, this is a good deal, right? The 2.9. Don't be scared of it. But obviously, it's a different talk track. It's a different conversation you're having with the customer, but it still could be a great deal for a customer for sure. So the loan 281, the locked in 250. Honestly, that's really good too. This is the same margin, same everything, same system, same production. 250 for the locked in lease, 281 for the locked in, not even locked in loan, because they still got to deal with the tax credit and all that stuff. One thing about the Sunnova loans that does also really win over like a good leap or Sunlight as well. Once again, like what Jim's saying, so the power production guarantee really sticks out. This $76,000. This $76,000, well, it's technically 54, right? So the net price. So the $54,000 will not appear as a debt for the customer. So that's huge. So even if we compare this to a Good Leap or a Sunlight or whatever, you're in a competitive situation. Monthlies are similar, loan amounts are similar, whatever, interest rates are similar. So the power production guarantee will set you apart. The battery warranty will set you apart. And this does not appear as a debt on the customer's credit. So if they did this exact loan through Sunlight or Good Leap and it was $54K that they were financing, they will have a $54,000 debt attached to them, which will affect the DTI and all that good stuff. So keep that in mind. That is a huge advantage of the Sunnova loan as well. On top of the lease, and PPA obviously does that. But yeah, so the Sunnova loan will not appear as a debt.
As long as you keep up the current payments.
Correct. Obviously, if you go default, they'll, yeah, all that nonsense. So, but yeah.
So I'm going with Sunnova, and we're looking at Solo, and there's the Sunnova loan battery warranty. So if we're going with the battery on Sunnova, we add that on, correct?
I would click it, yeah. So supposedly Sunnova includes that, but play it safe. Yeah, I'd factor that in. I,
Okay,
obviously, if you guys see my training on proposal building, I always like to have a cushion anyways. So yeah, so I would, even if they say that they have that $200 to $2,500 factored in, I would still, yeah, cushion it a couple
Okay.
grand.
okay, thanks.
Richard didn't listen to me because he didn't include an MPU adder in here. Always do a
Trying to make as much
TBD
money.
and always do a TBD MPU. Not always, but you know, if you can get away with it, do it because you'd rather have it than not have it when it pops up. Cool. We'll give it about 10 minutes. I'll probably have a hard stop at 2:30, but we'll give it about 10 minutes if you guys just kind of want to chat or throw any other questions out at me. Yeah, I've done a few of these even prior to Powur. It's a lot. It's a lot, but do it a handful of times and it's a good product. Or you can have those, you know, high level conversation with the customer about why a 10% interest loan is better than a 3%. Or 4%, excuse me.
Only thing I don't like about Sunnova is you can't manipulate things as easily in a solar proposal as you can a Sunnova. You know, so if someone wants to take off a few panels or, you know, here
Hold on,
and
give me
there.
15 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, hey, let me get back to you because you
Yeah.
can't just and that's the only thing I don't like about it is you just can't you can't manipulate it that easy.
Once you do this a few times, you can prep all this and Richard knows, you can, and Jim knows too. I know you guys have done a lot. You can knock one out in 5 or 10 minutes, really.
Yeah.
You can knock it out fairly quickly once you kind of get in the rhythm. But yeah, if you got something like you got to remove panels or add panels, like, oh, this is 110%, I want to see 130%. That's where it kind of sucks. So this is 336. What was the previous Sunnova loan? I think it was around the same. I think it was like 328 or
The
something.
loan
Like
was
that.
327.
323.
Okay, so
Yeah.
$10 cheaper than the Sunlight.
Plus
Okay.
you get the production guarantee, plus you get the
Was it-
25-year warranty.
Yeah,
on
that's right. The
batteries.
loan
The
amount
loan
was
amount,
like, yeah, it was like 2 or 3
75.
grand.
It was
less.
like 75, so it's cheaper.
Yeah, plus power production guarantee, plus one appears at debt, plus battery warranty, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean this is a great deal, guys, for sure. A lot of extra added steps, but this is a great deal for sure.
Well, the one thing is, you know, sometimes it's hard to get your customer to sign both of those, the loan and the solo. If you do Sunnova, it's all in one.
You know, that's 2 customers right now where like they have one or the other side. I'm like, come on. So yeah.
But I base a lot of Sunnova though off of what their monthly electric bill is too. If it's a low electric bill, you know, I've been winning a lot with Sunnova and been able to sell Sunnova knowing, you know, I can get a better price on it.
Yep.
And that's how I've been going with Sunnova.
It's a few extra steps, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else?
Anthony,
Yes, sir.
yeah, is any way that you can go to the Sunnova platform and check the address that I sent to you?
Harry said goodbye. Barely checking the chat right now.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
of
take
course,
off.
Chris. Glad to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work, guys. We'll see you.
You too.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
Jim.
on that one that it was really high like that. I don't know if Sunnova
Jeff,
accounts
we're
for the
losing
ground
you.
mount, do they? The ground mount adds to the price quite a bit, and I'm doing one right here.
As
Look
long as you incorporate that in the price per watt, then yeah, they can do ground mounts, they can do MPUs, they can do tree removal, just whatever you're working on, they can do it. As long as you make sure your solo is priced out and adders are priced out, margins priced out, all that is priced out correctly. Just transfer that information to Sunnova and you're good.
But we're still doing dealer EPC per watt, and the ground mount makes it come out higher per watt.
Yeah. So
I read on mine.
does anyone know the
play-
ground mount adder off the top of your head? I think it's like
What's that?
60 or 70 cents. The ground mount adder. The ground mount adder is like a locked in.
I look at it right here.
I want to say it's like 60 to 70. You gotta update
Down
this, Richard. I'm
53 cents.
53 cents. Okay, yeah, so,
Well, have a good one.
so 53 cents, just factor that in. So we were at what, 377 or whatever? Just add 53 cents to that and it's
Yeah,
good.
I'm just saying that may be why he wasn't making any money on it.
Oh, have a good one.
But they weren't factoring that in. 'Cause that's a lot of money difference.
I was Puerto Rico. Let's see if F8 will pop up. No, it's not.
En la filita.
It's giving me a different zip code, Jeremy.
Hmm?
It's giving me a different zip code. It's saying 00623. You said 00725.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
try different, like, I try different ways. You know, I put first the name of the El Recreo, I interchange,
Yeah.
but doesn't appear or doesn't give like a real option, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, I know from Moses looking up stuff in Puerto Rico, you have to know exactly where the house
Like
is,
the coordinates.
the exact coordinates of the house. Otherwise, it won't come up. And I've done 2 or 3 out there with him, and he's told me, he goes, I know that's not the location. What's the coordinates? And we've had to figure it out and look them up and
Kind of work backwards on it.
yeah, and try to go down the street and then try and figure, walk it, ourselves and stuff like that. So it becomes very difficult in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, for example, using the Powur platform also was like kind of difficult.
I think
Same
there's
way.
still, I think there's still
Same
some
way.
hiccups.
You have to know the exact coordinates for it to put it in there. And I just put in the chat all the info for the financing there was a knowledge base for Puerto Rico as well for you.
Yeah,
And
I got it.
there's training and stuff you got to do for it, and all that. So that way you know as well too.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, I try to, send information to the Sunnova contact, but he sent me to the guy that doesn't send to me like any, other way to get the location. Because you cannot go through. If you don't pass that step, you cannot go through.
No.
Yeah.
You can't progress from there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if it doesn't pop up, maybe just assume we can't offer in that particular grid. Maybe, just try to build it a different way.
The thing is that this client wants to know about the leasing program,
Right.
It's kind of
I think you can manually hold on real quick. Let me share this. Going back in. You can
Yeah,
manually
knowing
enter
finance-
an address. You can manually enter it. And then from my understanding, you can save. So is the house number F8 or is that the house number?
F8, that's the house number.
Calle El Retiro. So it just takes us
but
nowhere.
but I think so that it's not Boquerón. It's not Boquerón. It's El Bosque. I think so. It's something. No.
He can't find it on maps either.
No, copy paste from the
Street, city?
the city's Caguas.
Caguas.
Caguas. Yeah.
What the heck? No, why is it? So you can manually enter it. PR,
And the zip code is different. You know that one.
725. Okay, takes the middle number. That's fine. Now we enter customer's name. Phone number, Jeremy, what's yours?
476556937.
Let me create it.
No,
No.
don't let go if the if the location is not like set with the program, doesn't go. Don't
Well, no, but I'm
tell
just
me, like,
seeing
you go
if we can even just get to a proposal, because this doesn't, like, Sunnova doesn't ask for, like, Powur is not going to use this imagery to install their system or anything like that. They're going to figure out where the address is. My concern is just getting to the proposal, but it won't even let me progress.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I did it in Powur because, I went like with the client, house per house, and we located where is in Powur,
Yeah.
But he want to know about
Big Dana,
the
I
leasing
appreciate your help.
program. Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think they do leases out there.
Yeah. Well, cool. It's
gotcha.
2:30.
Well, thank you very much for your time, bro.